At the beginning of the 20th century, automobiles began to take market toward the American families. The popular Model T by Ford Motor Company was marketed toward the average family in 1908. The development of the assembly line by Henry Ford in 1913 allowed for the mass production of automobiles, improving the efficiency of production and making the automobile more affordable to the American consumer. The automobile industry struggled during the time of the Great Depression. Despite the struggles of the Depression, new features were invented, including the V8 engine, freewheeling, overdrive, and automatic transmission. After the Great Depression, World War II boosted the economy and auto industry. The production of automobiles halted and major car factories, however, sparked the production of military vehicles and materials for the war. Following the war, the production of vehicles resumed. The 60s saw a push for safer automobiles with the introduction of the seatbelt in 1964. In addition, there was a demand for more power and space in vehicles. After the 1980s, globalization began to play a larger role in the industry. The United States dropped from the top producer of vehicles. In 2008, an economic recession and rising fuel prices led companies to again focus on fuel efficiency, a trend that remained after fuel prices began to decrease. Today, the auto industry is on a path of significant change. Mary Barra, chairman and CEO of General Motors, believes the industry will change more in the next 5 to 10 years than it has in the last 50, labeling it as the next revolution in the auto industry. The main drivers include convergence of connectivity, electrification, and changing customer needs, pushing companies to create cleaner, safer, smarter, and more energy-efficient cars. A company that has been at the forefront of the push towards sustainability on the road is Tesla. Tesla has remained innovative in their developments of a pure electric car. Their mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy.
When looking at the auto industry, you need to do a steep analysis to understand what factors play a role in shaping the industry. For socio-cultural factors, one of the most important and noticeable trends affecting the auto industry today is the popularity of hybrid and electric vehicles, both in the United States and worldwide. Companies such as Tesla and Toyota have set the standard for alternative vehicles and continue to be the leader in the industry, and hybrid cars have become popular in Europe due to high gas prices. However, the main issues surrounding hybrid cars that needs to be addressed are the high prices, low battery life, and creating more charging stations. Another sociological factor affecting the auto industry is the popularity of ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft. Last year, there were 4 times more ride-on-demand app downloads than cars sold globally. The popularity both helps and hurts the industry as it requires manufacturers to supply fleets of vehicles for these apps, but also may require a change in marketing for auto manufacturers. Self-driving vehicles are an important technological factor affecting the industry. BMW plans to bring a driverless car to market as soon as 2020, and Tesla is also exploring the idea. The main problem that the auto industry must face is gaining the public's trust in these cars and showing that they are safe alternatives to driving yourself. Automated production is also an important technological factor as it allows manufacturers to produce cars at a more efficient and faster rate. Technology is only going to improve in the future, so expect automated production to replace human production completely in the not-so-distant future. Next, the focus on increasing auto production in America has been a critical economic factor. Donald Trump is pushing for less outsourcing of production jobs and wants to create more manufacturing jobs in the United States. This could hurt American auto companies as they may have to spend more to manufacture domestically instead of outsourcing at a cheap price. The decreasing cost of batteries and renewable energy also affects the auto industry, as it could allow companies such as Tesla to bring and produce cars to the market at a cheaper price, reaching a new potential market of consumers. Climate change will also impact the industry as more vehicle makers are expected to put climate change specialists on their board and invest even more heavily in low emissions cars.
Supplier bargaining power is one force that shapes the competitive structure for an industry. Supplier value in the automobile industry has continued to increase since 1985. As supplier value increases, so does supplier bargaining power. Automakers have moved away from manufacturing and forward toward assembling. The major suppliers' bargaining power has increased as the automakers have become more dependent on fewer suppliers. Therefore, we will conclude that supplier bargaining power is a moderate force that will continue to increase. Buyers have a direct influence on the automotive company's profits, making their bargaining power a high force. With the convenience of the internet, it makes it easier for buyers to research and find the best deal possible. Buyers have the ability to withdraw from any purchase they do not like. Within a given dealership, individual consumers have the ability and some influence to negotiate prices but they have little power over manufacturers. Customers easily, with little cost, are able to transfer to other dealerships. In the case of Tesla specifically, the buyer's bargaining power is quite low if the buyer's intention is to own an electric-powered vehicle. Being the customer still has other options, such as hybrids, high mile per gallon cars, and more efficient regular gasoline-powered cars, overall bargaining power can be seen as high. There is a large social trend for having a green environment, which could limit the buyer's bargaining power, but the customer can always walk away and buy something cheaper and more convenient instead of Tesla's luxury vehicle. Overall, we would say that the bargaining power for the buyers is a moderately high force.
When looking at Porter's force of substitute products for the automotive industry, it is important to look at a variety of factors. These factors include advancements in public transportation, new ride-sharing businesses like Uber and Lyft, and possible new car ownership models that would affect automobile companies. The force of substitute products is seen as moderate because of the factors that were just listed. Public transportation usage has seen a significant rise since 1997 and is directly correlated with rising gas prices. Since gas prices are dependent on oil prices, the sporadic nature of the pricing has caused car companies to search for more efficient cars so as to mitigate the risk of a spike in oil prices. The new improvements and awareness of public transportation needs has also spurred somewhat of a panic within the automotive industry. There is new beta testing for electric, driverless pods that could be the new substitute for public transportation grid, which would have a huge impact on car companies. If the public transportation system has significant improvements in the coming years, this will spell disaster for car companies like Ford, GM, and even Tesla, unless of course they jump on board with the initiative and switch their corporate strategies. Another substitute that car companies should have on their radar are ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft. These companies shift the culture of car ownership and challenge the concept of every household needing one or even multiple cars. There's also been discussion about ownership model in general. Certain startup companies are exploring different ways that car sharing and rental opportunities could replace pure car ownership, which would drive down sales for car companies. These factors make the threat of substitutes in the automotive space a very real threat. In looking at Porter's substitute force, we have signaled that it deserves a moderate level rating as some of this technology is still far off into the future. However, car companies like Tesla, Ford, and GM need to be constantly stress testing their corporate strategies so that they are headed in the right direction. The next portion will focus on Porter's force called threat of new entrants. This force has historically been weak within the automotive industry due to the high barriers to entry within the space, high cost of capital, the need for a robust set of suppliers, and a complex distribution system all make breaking into this industry very difficult. It wasn't until an innovative and ambitious company called Tesla pushed the boundaries within the industry when other companies began to break into the space. Tesla made a huge push for electric vehicles. They've been able to compete with mile range as of lately and are pursuing an extensive network of charging stations so that drivers can have better access to their charging needs. They have also been pushing for autonomous driving capabilities as well as an interconnected car built out with the latest and greatest technological advancements. With these initiatives, they're pushing older car companies like Ford and GM to step up to the game with regards to green cars and technology advancements. This has also opened up a place in the market for companies like Google, Microsoft, and Apple, all working on autonomous vehicles with high technology capabilities. With these new companies getting skin in the game and competing with companies like Ford and GM, the historically weak force of new entrants within the industry is now increasing more towards the moderate level. It is an exciting time to be in the auto industry with companies like Tesla leading change. Ford and GM need to be constantly innovating and improving their products or risk being dethroned by one of these new players.
The rivalry of existing firms is very high in this industry. One of the biggest factors of comparison and competition in the automobile industry is the price point of the vehicles that these companies bring to market. Each company is trying to bring retail prices down so they can expand their customer base while also keeping the quality of the product very high. For example, in the past, Tesla has created excellent cars with many features, but the price points have been quite high. Going forward, Tesla is looking to create more affordable cars that are still of great quality with high-tech features. This will also help them break into the customer base of more affordable car manufacturers like Ford, Toyota, and some GM companies. Research and development is also a key to the competition in this industry. As stated before, both BMW and Tesla have made hopeful promises for self-driving cars within the next 5 years. This innovation could put serious pressure on other car companies that do not currently have plans to get into the realm of autonomous driving. However, this innovation also comes at a cost. The retail price point of this technology is uncertain but most likely high. The future of this industry will be interesting to say the least, but Tesla is hopeful to bring innovation and affordable prices to the market in the near future. In conclusion, the automotive industry has a deep history and has propelled the United States through many generational and economic changes. These changes have been accelerated through innovation and creative thinking. The increased technology surge has allowed for companies like Tesla, Google, and Apple to search for a car that is interconnected seamlessly with the latest and greatest technology. The automotive space has historically been a slow-moving industry. However, the recent push for an electric, autonomous, interconnected, and affordable car has forced every automotive company to rethink what is possible and shift their corporate strategies towards a very exciting and adventurous future for the automotive industry.
Thanks for watching.